welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. So we are once again doing another Shabbat prep. So here I am taking some meat out of the package, and then I'm gonna rinse it out to then cut it. So here I am. Now I'm gonna slice the meat in half, and then I'm gonna, sorry here, I'm kind of blocking the view, but as I was saying, I sliced it in half, and then I'm cutting it into like smaller rectangular pieces. So honestly, this week I didn't really have a meal plan. I didn't really have anything clear of what I was gonna do for Shabbat, but I ended up just putting things together, and you guys will see in the other clips of what I do with the meat. So now that the meat is cut up, I'm gonna wash it now. And I'm rinsing it with cold water. I did cold water just because as I was reading about the laws of kashrut, I read that in the process of kashering and taking the blood out of the meat, they use cold water and they salt it. So I'm not sure if the cold water actually, if there's something that it does to take out more blood, but I'm rinsing it with cold water just because that's what I read. So after I rinsed it out a couple of times, I'm now adding white vinegar, and I'm making sure everything is coated with vinegar, and I add some more water, and that would be the last and final rinse before we move on to adding in the spices. So here I'm adding salt. And then I'm adding some minced garlic. I did 3 tablespoons of minced garlic. And then Worcestershire sauce. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but I added some of that. And then I added some adobo. And I believe this is onion and garlic powder. And I think this is meat tenderizer, if I'm not mistaken. And then I'm pretty sure this is paprika, and that's turmeric, and then this is black pepper, and cumin. And lastly, I'm adding a little packet of seasoning that has cilantro and some other flavors to it, and I'm putting in some plastic gloves because the spices really do like they taint your hands, so I don't want that. So I just wore some gloves while I mixed everything in. So after I just let it I'm just letting the meat absorb and sit with all the flavor, And meanwhile it's doing that, I'm moving on to chopping vegetables that I'm gonna be adding with the meat. So here I'm chopping up some tomatoes, and I'm not really being so particular or precise about the size of the pieces, just because it's really mainly there for the juice, for the tomato to let out its juice. And so I'm not being really particular with the pieces. I'm just chopping it up and putting it in the tray. And then over here, you can't really see, but I added 2 serrano peppers just to give it a little bit of heat. In my house, we always have to have some sort of spicy food, and so yeah, I'm just adding 2 serrano peppers. And lastly, I'm chopping up an onion and adding that to the tray as well. So here I'm kind of separating the pieces of onions that are like together. And then I add some a little bit of salt. Where did I go? Okay, here I am. Never mind, I added a little bit of oil and then a little bit of salt and then a little bit of pepper, and I mixed it up together. And now we're ready to add in the meat to the tray. So that is how it looks, and so I put it in the oven, and while it's in the oven, I'm moving on to the fish. So I'm doing salmon here. Some of the pieces were already seasoned, so I didn't do that, but I just cut them in half and I added some salt and some black pepper to the pieces that weren't seasoned, and then I added this sauce that you guys will later see. And so that is the fish, and I put that to cook in the oven as well. Here I have some eggplant, 2 eggplants, and I'm washing them. And I saw this recipe on in YouTube, and I tried it out just because we had eggplants and we needed to use them. So I tried it out. So here I'm just washing 2 eggplants, and then I'm just gonna wrap them in aluminum foil and put them in the oven until they become very soft. So here I was having like I was struggling with this sticker just because it was so stuck, and I don't know why people like to stick them, or I don't know if it's people or machines, but it was just really stuck. So yeah. So I'm just drying the eggplants. I don't really know if this is necessary, but I just felt it was better to dry them before wrapping them. But it's probably not really necessary. So yeah, here I'm wrapping it in aluminum foil. And then when they're both wrapped, I am putting them in the oven. So here's how the salmon looks cooked. It was the first thing out of the oven. So that is the finished product. And then the meat is now done. So that is how that's looking. I mixed it up. I made sure to coat the meat in its juice, and that is how it looks. So now moving on to the Israeli salad. We've been doing this 3 Shabbat in a row just because it's really good. It's become one of our favorite salads. So here I am just slicing 3 cucumbers, thinly slicing them. For this salad you have to thinly slice everything. So you need 3 cucumbers, 1 large onion or 2 small onions, and 1 bell pepper. So then I'm just separating the onion pieces that are together, and I'm mixing everything up so the cucumber, the bell pepper, and everything could be well combined. So for the salad, you're gonna need 3/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, and then you're gonna add 1 cup of water. And then you're gonna need a little bit of oil, and you're gonna need 1 tablespoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then you just mix everything up, and then that is the Israeli salad. So I forgot to film the eggplants out of the oven, but basically I just took everything that was inside and I scraped it out, and so this becomes kind of like a dip in a way. So you just add in some minced garlic, how much you want, and then you just add a little bit some salt, and then you mix it up, and that is the fire roasted eggplant. So my brother made challah this week as well, and as you guys could already tell, it came out so good. Like the braid and everything was very good. So that is my brother switching the chalot from the places where they're at. And that is the finished results of the challah. So here I just had a little ice cream break, but after this we go back to cooking and we are doing some rice. Some very simple basmati rice. I'm adding in salt, onion powder, and garlic powder to the water. while I let the water heat up and move on to washing the rice. So that is how the basmati rice looks. And we are almost done with everything we need for Shabbat. I just need to do one more thing, which is the tomato soup, the tomato sauce I do for Shabbat morning, where we dip in the challah. So I added, usually I would do cans of tomato sauce, not like marinara sauce or anything, but we didn't have that, so I had to use marinara sauce. So I used 1 bottle of that, and then I filled the bottle with water and I mixed it, and I kind of went overboard with the salt. It got but I just added more water to it, so the problem was fixed. So yeah, I added some salt, adobo, and red pepper flakes, and I mixed it up, and that is the tomato soup, tomato sauce. And here are the tables for Shabbat that we prepared for Shabbat. And we made it to the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, bye.